Hey, what's up, guys? DENT Sports. My name's Bryson. Just wanted to let you guys know, sorry about this video coming out a day late. I know I said that the NHL videos will come out Thursday night. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it uploaded last night. So hopefully you guys will still enjoy it. It's coming out today instead, ahead of tonight's game. So next week it should be out on Thursday once again, but just wanted to give you guys a little FYI. So anyways, with that being said, enjoy the video. Hey, what's up, guys? Got another new video here for you. This is DENT Sports. My name is Bryson.
I'm Bennett. I'm Steve.
I'm Don.
And we've got our weekly hockey video coming at you right now like a puck at 50 miles per hour. It's blazing through here, and we're going to start digging into some of these losses. So, we'll go ahead and start with the Bruins this week. Another week for the Bruins where it's kind of a mixed bag. We had a nice recovery win against the Capitals this week after that freaking horrible situation occurred with the guy getting rattled out of his shoes. We ended up... Actually, no, that was the game. The game that we won 5-1, we were up 4-0, and there was a really, really bad illegal hit on the one Bruins player by Wilson, I believe it was. And, these guys in the booth and the halftime show and stuff, the guys in the booth were completely agreed that it was no doubt a penalty, but the guys that were doing the halftime thing and stuff, they're all like, oh, well, it wasn't a penalty. I didn't really see anything there. I'm like, yeah, I didn't see anything other than that guy's head about to go through the goddamn glass. Like, hello. I mean, come on. But anyway, so yeah, we won that game. Lost a heartbreaker to the Devils 1-0. I mean, it was just a game where we literally couldn't do anything right. It was just horrible. The fact that we lost 1-0, and really it was a 0-0 game for... I mean, it wasn't like they scored early and then didn't score again. They scored their one goal really, really late, and it really kind of sucked the fact that we ended up losing that one because, well, it just sucked. I mean, I guess that's the best way to put it. But anyway, after that, we went down to New York, lost another game to the frickin' Islanders. I don't know what it is with some of these teams, but we have the hardest time with some of these teams, and they're teams that a lot of people just breeze through. Speaking of one of those teams, the Rangers, I believe they said that we have not. I believe they said on the air that we played the Rangers 4 times this season and haven't beaten them once. And the Rangers aren't aren't one of the top tier teams. They're just another team out there. But for whatever reason, we can't beat them to save our lives. So it was really nice to get the Rangers victory this week. And I don't know, I think Tuukka Rask may have had an injury at some point because he hasn't been playing.
Yep.
And I don't think he played in any of these games, maybe one of them. But, Halak, he pretty much did his thing. Even the games that we lost, he gave up a total of 3 goals, and one of them was in the shootout. Mm-hmm. So he gave up, in regulation, he gave up 2 goals in 4 games in the losses, which, if you can't win, you're losing 1-0. If you can't score a goal, I don't know what you expect the goalie to do. If you're losing 1-0, that's on the offense to me. Yeah, and you can't expect the goalie to hold him out of there all day. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. Yes.
I mean, it was kind of sad. I mean, especially the Islanders game, it was pretty frustrating because we had the lead for a while in that one, and then they tied it up, and then of course we lost in the shootout. It just seemed like everything was kind of going the Islanders' way for a while there, and once it got to the shootout, I was like, oh man, we're gonna be screwed here. And for whatever reason, we haven't had the greatest luck in overtime and shootouts this year. I don't think we've won a game in the shootout. And in overtime, I don't think our record is that great either. So it's unfortunate, but, another week where literally it's pretty much the same thing. We went 2-2. I mean, lose some games, win some games, but we competed throughout, and that's about what the Bruins do, I guess. So I think it's a little bit ridiculous. You know, I mentioned last week, just real quickly before we move on, I mentioned last week how there was some people getting ready to jump off the boat about, oh, this team's not going to the Stanley Cup or anything like that. It's really, really bad, and we need to blow it up and restart because, you know, we have no chance to do anything. Well, on Facebook this week, there was some guy that legitimately commented, as we sit in the number 1 spot in the East, he legitimately commented, yeah, we need to blow it up. This team's not even making the playoffs. As we sit in the number 1 spot, coming off a win. I'm like, are you watching the Red Wing or what? What team are you watching? Apparently...
They must be watching the Red Sox.
Yeah, exactly. Or either that or the Patriots. I have no idea, but I was like, you freaking crazy? And then, there was some analysts and stuff that said, yeah, this team has a great chance to make the Stanley Cup. So literally in a week, it went from, oh, this team's on the dumps, they're going down, to, oh my God, now we're the greatest thing since sliced bread again. So, that just goes to show you how fickle people are with this stuff. It's like you lose a couple of games and everybody's ready to abandon ship. But biggest reason why is because a lot of people aren't really fans. They're just there because, oh, well, I want to say I can root for the team that won. And when they don't win, they're like, oh, I never really liked them anyway. So, that's just how it is these days with people. But anyways, enough about the Bruins.
You listen to the experts talk, though, and they don't paint that scenario with the Bruins. They say nothing but positive things.
Yeah.
I listened to some stuff on my lunch break today, and they were talking about what a great job Halleck's doing in there while Rask has been out. And they said this is why that they want to sign both of these guys.
Yeah.
It's because when Rask goes out, it's almost like they don't miss a beat. And this guy's a solid goalie, and he just keeps them in ball games. Uh-huh. Really, which is, we always talk about depth, and we talk about other sports. And the reality of it is it's just as important in hockey as it is in all these other sports. When you get into injuries and stuff like that, like we always talk about, a guy coming off the bench, he's got to be able to fill the role. And in this case, it seems like Halleck's definitely doing that. I'm not surprised. The guys on the TV today were kind of like, he goes, where the letdown has been is they haven't been able to get the goals. They haven't been scoring like they usually do.
Yeah.
And so all the losses have basically been because the team's not scoring like they normally would.
Yeah. I was going to say, because the game against the Islanders, we beat them in shots on goal 40-25. Mm-hmm. And we lost 2-1 in a shootout. Yeah. But we were only able to score 1 goal the whole time, and we almost got a quarter. They almost had 3/4 more than they had in shots on goal. We had a quarter more than they did.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you're doing that, that's on the offense. You can't ask much more from the goalies.
No.
And there's been a handful of games that we've watched this season where the whole game was spent on the Bruins side of the ice.
Yeah.
And nothing was done by the offense, and we still sometimes won, sometimes lost, but the goalies did a hell of a job at least keeping it competitive for how often it was on the Bruins side.
Yep.
So I give all the credit in the world to the goalies, and like you said, Halak, that guy is, I think that Stanley Cup playoff experience from Rask sitting out last year because of COVID, he didn't want to play. I think that really upped Halak's game and his level a lot to get that kind of experience, and like, hey, dude, the team is relying on you now. And I think he really stepped up his game, and I think he's playing at a great level now.
Yeah,
as a result.
agree.
So, anyway, let's move on to the next team. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit, unless anybody else had anything to say. No? Okay.
No.
Let's go ahead and move on to the Kings, Mother Buff. The LA Kings, they had another week that's probably easily forgotten.
Well, I mean, where should we start? Like, cause they have 2 games already played this week, but they haven't played.
Well, it started on Thursday, so.
Well, Wednesday.
Yeah, but we record on Thursday.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, so, to start off the week, we go ahead and lose an OT to the Blues. That's always unfortunate, especially considering we had beat the Blues the 2 previous times that we played them. But, unfortunately, the Blues are a really good team, so, I didn't go into it expecting us to sweep them. That's not generally what's going to happen. And in fact, I think we play them a couple more times this year. So, it is nice to be able to beat the Blues, though, considering they're one of the better teams in the NHL right now. But then we played the Blues again, managed to beat them in OT, which was kind of surprising, because majority of the time we get to OT, we lose those games. So,
evidenced by our next game.
Yeah, evidenced by our next game. We go play the Ducks, lose an OT. I hate losing in overtime. Especially when I think in that Ducks game, I think we were down like 3 goals going into the third quarter and managed to scrape our way back into it. So,
just to end up losing.
End up losing in the end. It sucks when stuff like that happens.
I think the Red Wings know a thing or two about that.
But the main thing I wanted to talk about was our last game, because we had both of our goalies out for that game, Cal Peterson and Jonathan Quick. So we brought in some guy named Troy Grosnick, former player. He played for the Sharks and a couple other teams. But yeah, he came in and had like 33 saves on the game and only gave up 1 goal. So,
nice.
If he continues to play like that, I'm not so sure that we need to rush Cal and, I think it's Kai Peterson, actually. I'm not sure if it's Cal or Kai, but whatever. I don't think we need to rush him back or Quick if he's going to be playing like that. So, let's just say it's nice to be deep at goalie.
I wouldn't know.
I do, but it's for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
We're down to our 4th goalie? What?
Yeah. It's not because it's a luxury, it's because it's a necessity. You got everybody hurt. But yeah, I agree though.
But yeah, then we got 2 games coming up against the Avalanche next. Yeah. Those are going to be some pretty big games in placement. Because, as of right now, I think we're 2 points behind the Avalanche. And they're in the 4th spot currently. We're in the 5th spot. So it's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
and then you
need to show up for those games.
And then you got two more games against the Blues to look forward to.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure playing the Blues.
And then the Knights coming into town.
Yeah, so we got a tough string of games coming up. So we
Both the Knights. It cost me money yesterday, those bastards.
But yeah, tough string of games coming up, and I'm interested to see how we'll perform.
Yep. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the Red Wings.
That's enough said. We'll move on.
Let's
move on to the Avalanche.
Same song.
Yeah, I just want to say real quickly, I did get a chance to watch majority of the Red Wings game against the Lightning tonight, as well as the last game they played against the Lightning, where it was let known that the Red Wings hadn't beaten them in 11 times, and managed to lose that one. But then they turned around tonight and really came out swinging. At one point in the game, I think it was 5-0, or it may have been 5-1. But I know, it was 1-1. And then, in the second and third period, it got up to 5-1. And then all of a sudden, the Lightning started scoring, and the Lightning started scoring 5-4. I mean, it was an empty net situation for the Lightning for a little bit, and the Red Wings weren't scoring, and then the Lightning were still scoring on the Red Wings, and I was like, oh no, here comes the collapse. But then they held them out and managed to get a goal at the end in the empty net setting, so they won 6-4. So, really good job by the Red Wings.
Was there any doubt, really?
Yeah, I mean, the over was in.
Yeah, exactly. So they just wanted to make sure the over got taken care of is all. But, good job by the Red Wings finally breaking the streak. 11 straight or 12 straight, whatever it was, against the Lightning. They got their win back, and they performed really well today. I was pretty impressive watching them, and Dylan Larkin was on fire. He's really played well these last couple games after having a spurt of games where he wasn't really doing much. So
he's a good player, that guy. He's, I think, their captain as well. So, they're not blessed with a ton of talent at the moment. And then some of the talent they do have is not playing at the moment due to injuries. I'm not expecting anything major. It is nice to see, however, that, they can take a team, play a game like they did tonight and come out and beat somebody that they probably shouldn't have. So, that just tells you, that they do have some talent there, and when everybody plays together as a team, they can do some things. With that being said, they'll come out and lose the next 3 games, against lesser opponents after this. But, it's a process right now. Red Wings fans just need to kind of, just keep it together for a little while until, Yzerman can get in place what he wants. But there is some talent on this team, some young talent. Larkin's really good. I don't know what's going to be in his future. Who knows if he'll stay or move on. But, so much of this is about the draft for these guys. They used to be, like I said before, they used to be a team that would attract the big-time players. They didn't have a problem signing them. They had more all-stars on their team than they had people that you'd never heard of, in the years past. So, I don't know that it'll ever get back to that, that point. But, I fully expect us to get back to at least, being a playoff contender before too long. Hopefully, anyway. But, we always tend to, I don't know, lately it has not been good. We're giving up a lot of goals. We're spending way too much time on our own side of the ice. We're getting beaten shots on goal virtually every game. I don't know what it looked like tonight, but it's. I'm sure it was decent tonight. Obviously, we scored 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, you still got beat by they doubled you 44-23. But part of that was probably at the end when it was just a nonstop flurry of, hey, we need to score. So I wouldn't put a lot of credit to that, but
no, but
it was still,
we're getting outshot.
Yeah,
and when you're getting outshot, you're not going to win very many games. You just can't do it. And right now, we just don't have the firepower to be able to hang with a lot of these teams. So we got to take our wins when we can get them. Chalk this one up to it was a nice outing, good effort by the team. Something that the fans should be proud of. And then just keep on licking your wounds because they're going to keep on coming with losses. So, that's where the Red Wings sit right now. Best thing I can say about them is the jerseys look nice.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll finish up the talk about the Red Wings as a tough week for the Red Wings.
Yeah, but hey, the jerseys
That's-
look
that's
nice.
Yeah,
a
the
re-
jerseys
that's
look
a-
nice. So
It's a reoccurring theme with this thing.
He's a fan of them. Yeah, and they got 2 tough games for next week. They got They got some tough games against the Hurricanes, and then they move on to a series against the Stars. So we'll see how they do, because the Hurricanes is definitely a team that is kind of finding their stride and getting better here lately, and the Stars are, they've struggled a little bit this year, but they also have had so many games canceled to COVID that I don't know. I think they're still getting into the swing of playing again, honestly. So, anyways, let's move on to the Avs. What's up with them?
Typical week. Injuries.
What?
It's still the word of the day. A couple days ago, I know we were getting Calvert back, and then as soon as Calvert came back, JT Comfort went on the injured reserve list. So we're just flip-flopping injuries. We still have the top 3 defensemen out, 4 total. So again, just moving along. Again, just a tribute to depth, like you said with the other ones, because we have people that are stepping up in those places, or just taking minutes with youngsters. So it's pretty much been a great job so far. So hopefully, it looks like, I don't know how it's going to, but they'll hopefully come back maybe Sunday. But hopefully the next series, we'll probably have hopefully 2 of the 3 top defensemen back, which I'm sure Gerard and Tays and I forgot who else, Graves, will probably be thankful to take some ice minutes off of it, because they've been logging in some huge minutes here.
Yeah.
In the last week, per se, for sure, ever since they went down. So, it's just been typical games for them. Blew a couple they shouldn't have blown, won a couple they shouldn't have won. So it kind of even out. I think the other night they lost the game against the Coyotes. I think it was something ridiculous, like 40 shots to like 12, and they scored 3 goals out of the 12. So, and of course we lost the game. So again, just couldn't put the puck in the net. And then again, it started again last night. Same thing. Still, 40 plus shots, and not many were going in. But then they finally tied it up and then won it in overtime. So. We'll see what happens. Like you said, I think once the full team is on the ice, I think we'll see some more excitement like we saw at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Where it's a really good offensive team, because they can just hit wave after wave after wave of depth. But until this time, it's just, if we can get a point or 2,
Plug and play,
and just hold the ship until everybody gets healthy, I think they'll be all right. But again, we'll see. Because again, they got to come off injury, and then are they going to be healthy enough to play, and with all that stuff. So.
Well, this is similar though to kind of how we always talk about, these guys that don't normally get a chance to play. Now we're gaining all this experience, and they're filling in nicely.
Yep.
And so now when they get onto the ice, it's not going to be like a deer in the headlight situation. They're going to be like, "Yeah, I've already been out here. I'm ready to roll."
Yeah, I mean, Graves this week has been night and day. He still has his, you'll see a moment like the other night. Puck came out to him at the blue line, and he's holding it in, and of course it skipped on him and went over him, and then led a guy to a breakaway because he just went right by him because he went, "Oops," But before that, though, I mean, he's been completely solid, like lock solid back there on the defensive line. But you can see there, though, that again, getting that experience, that it's only going to help further down the road.
Yeah.
If they're able to get to the playoffs, but if everything goes right, they'll be
come playoff time,
good
it'll be
shot.
huge. Yeah, it'll be huge for them.
Yeah.
For sure. I think it's nice.
Yeah, the experience and everything like that, and I mean, it just, like you said, it's a plug and play, not like I don't know what this guy's going to look like, and we can't afford to have him make a costly mistake because it's a playoff game, so we'll just have this guy be a little bit more tired.
Yeah.
It's you don't have to worry about that.
No, and like I said, and the kids that they've got there are pretty, they're high draft choices, and they're high caliber talent. And it's just like, last year with Makar, I mean, he only had like 10 days of experience, and he jumped right in on the starting 5.
Yeah.
And then proved himself to be like one of the, better defensemen out there. So, like I said, it's just I think with the maturation of the organization and Sakic, and I think with Bernard, coaching them, they got things working. So,
yeah.
Again, it's just health. If they can get healthy, it'll be good. Like I said, McKinnon came back yesterday, which is huge, and he looked like he didn't skip a beat after the concussion. So again, if he's out there, that also gives another. Defenses have to account for him, and that changes and frees up other people.
No, it does. I mean, and we always talk about it. I mean, if you got stability in the upper management, that certainly helps things out. Yeah. When you got nothing but confusion going on, like my teams usually do, I mean, it's just difficult to make any headway. I mean, there's no direction, and so I mean, I look at the Avalanche, like he just said, everything's kind of coming together and pieces are in place. They got the right guy leading it. They got the right guy in upper management leading the whole thing, and he seems to be able to get the talent that they need. And when you can just continue to bring it in, I mean, because you're going to lose guys to free agency. I mean, everybody does. Yep. I mean, and especially this year with the Kraken coming in next year, I mean, everybody's going to be down some players.
Yep.
So,
but again, I think, like you said, I think, like it was before, that now it's becoming a destination again where people like, oh, I want to play with McKinnon, I want to play with Landeskog, I want to play with these guys. It might be even for less. I mean, I know Kadri was was a star with Toronto. And then he came here. He's like, he's on the second line.
Yep.
And he's like, I'll accept this role because this is a really good team and we have a chance. So I mean, to get guys like Saad and again 1-2
and
cups,
even Grubauer. Grubauer's played
was
well.
With the Capitals.
Yeah.
He came up. You know what I mean? So
it's
I think
nice.
it's finally turning the corner and hopefully we can just ride the momentum for at least a few more years.
No, exactly.
And hopefully collect a cup or two in this time would be great. But we'll see how it goes though. Nothing's guaranteed.
No, that's for sure.
So.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, it's going to be interesting for sure, but at the very least, unlike what we all experienced with our football, where every single week was like, okay, further confirmation that we absolutely suck. All right, let's move on to the next sport. With this, it's actually some people here that actually have a right to be excited about something, and it's. At least for a couple of us, for the most part, I mean, it's not, if we're going to make the playoffs or what do we need to do it. I mean, we're pretty much going to be in. It's just going to be a matter of what do we do once we get there. So, that's a sharp contrast from what we experienced during football, where half of us were freaking eliminated by week 5.
Yeah.
So,
was it 5 or was it 1?
Yeah, well,
I couldn't tell.
I think it was 1.
I was gonna say it was 1, but we just didn't know it yet.
Yeah.
But it was just. Anyways, I mean, it's nice to be able to get on here and have some positivity for once. So that's good. But anyway, so if you guys like the content, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notifications and. So you can get an update every time we're complaining about something. Make sure you also go over and check out DENT SPORTS, Denver Detroit Sports weekly videos about, obviously each of the Denver and Detroit sports. So make sure you tune them out. Also, check them out. Don't tune them out. I mean, you can do that if you want.
They already have been doing that.
About 5 minutes in, you'll want to. So.
My bad. But make sure you tune in to them as well, and then also check out the Quip Joint podcast, which instead of being its own channel is now just another thing that's here on Tuned In Sports. So make sure you check that out as well. So with that being said, guys, I'm Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
I'm Steve.
I'm done.
We'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace.